What's up, everyone? It's your boy, your coach, your favorite coach, hopefully. With my squat session, you can see I'm doing some around the neck band, single arm ropes with the band around my knees. Just another way to add some stress to the back, to the hips, warm up. Really good for wrestlers if you coach wrestlers because they have to be in that half position all the time. Can add some good hip extension to them and some good postural balance for their back. Did some box jumps with it. Anyways, onto my squats. Thought I did terrible, but really, my squats, as you can see, aren't that bad. The first set ain't the best. Maybe the last set, maybe the last two sets weren't really that great, but I got in a pretty solid amount of work. Piriformis was acting up. Thought I warmed up good enough. Probably should have warmed up a little bit better. Probably should have been doing things the day before, the 2 days before, to actually make it feel good. Loosen up my adductor magnus and just overall take care of myself, which I didn't do. So I was feeling sore from my max effort deadlifts and then also sore from some prowler sprints I was doing. But you can see hitting that low bar. I like the low bar squat for my heavier sets. Even though it beats up my elbows a little bit, you never feel it the day of. You always feel it the day after, like when I do my overhead presses or my bench. But shortens your back basically, mechanically shortens your back, lets you use a wider stance because you use more hips, more hamstrings. You can see I'm still getting pretty low, at least at parallel. I know I'm going below parallel, but I'm probably going to have some people be like, that's not below, that's not ass to grass. But fuck you, I'm going below parallel because all that's required of me is to go to parallel, and I just want to make it blatant that I am. So anyways, got my belt on, got wrist wraps, elbow sleeves, knee sleeves. Thought about wearing knee wraps for this actually. I thought I was going to start with a couple sets in the knee sleeves and then just finish it with some knee wraps, take some stress off my body, still get in the volume, but neurologically it would have been a little bit easier. But I didn't. Kept the knee wraps off, kept the sleeves on, worked on that technique, trying to push my knees a little bit forward so I don't have to tilt so much. It would be like going pretty much straight down instead of having to sit back more than I need to. And you can see I got my lifters on. Whenever you're wearing lifters and going wide, it puts you in a really weird position, something I haven't done in a while. So my coordination was off. You see I fidget around a lot when I get the bar unracked. And you can see just how long it takes me to set up under the bar, make sure everything's good before I even start to squat, make sure everything's tight, that I have air in my belly and my lower back, that I'm pushing the floor apart, getting that external rotation like you're standing on a line of paper towels and you're trying to rip the paper towels apart by twisting your feet outward. That's going to give you that external rotation that I often talk about. And if you don't know what I mean, hit me up and I'll explain it more. But right now, it's not the time. But you can see that I tilt pretty good. I sit back into my squat, and you got to remember that a squat just isn't, an Olympic squat. It's a sitting movement. So if you were to sit down in a chair, you'd probably just plop down in a chair. Yeah, I get it. But a more efficient way to sit down in a chair would be to create torque in the hips and to sit back. And that's just so you don't miss the chair. But with my free squat, I'm able to mimic that same movement, very similar to my box squat. So that's why box squats are effective for me. If you don't mimic your free squat with your box squat, it's not going to have enough carryover. You're going to have strong hips, yeah, but when you go and squat, you're going to just fall into the depths of the abyss. So you have to understand that box squatting needs to transfer over by mimicking the same movement that you do. I thought this was a side view that you could see how deep I'm getting, but clearly it cut out at the bottom. My lens isn't wide enough. I don't have one of those wide set lenses. Sorry about that. No editing. But, you can still see the work I'm doing. It actually shows right here really good. It shows pretty good where the bar sits on my back. It's very, very low. It just sits right on top of my rear delt, under my top traps, right on top of my shoulder blades. And yeah, did some front squats. Front squats are feeling terrible. I ended up just taking my fingers off the bar and doing it with my hands out in front of my face. That lights up your back, in case you're wondering. It lights up your back more than having your elbows up. So if you want to do some back work, rest the bar on your front delts, but keep your arms extended out in front of you, and it'll make sure to blow your back up. I also did I did one set of walking lunges and then 2 sets of weighted step-ups. I used about 90 pounds for each. And I was doing sets of 10, and it was just trying to get in more work. I did some landmine squats, but I did like 2 sets of 15. Again, just trying to get in more work. You know, this is 185, and 185 was blowing me up. So I think I did 3 sets of 8. I did 1 set without a belt, and then I'm like, fuck this, I'm just going to put a belt on. So before I wrecked myself, I checked myself, didn't wreck myself. So really hard to get my balance with these front squats after doing those low bar squats. But it's kind of about being an athlete and being able to adapt and coordinate yourself, about that coordination life. So that's it, guys. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, and I appreciate you watching. As always,